phone?
I don't think we ever heard from, we got Marine.
Who's on the phone? Do we have anybody on the phone right now?
Yes, we got Marine, Larry, and Matt. And,
Are they on the phone now?
Is everybody on the phone?
Okay, I want can people hear us?
they were on.
Larry's here, yeah, if we can just turn off the John Oliver, yeah.
He's been off. John Oliver's been off.
We're having a debate on red light cameras.
We don't know who's on the phone yet.
It doesn't really sound that much.
So who do we have online?
Larry, Matt, and Maureen.
Okay, fine then.
We have these really delicious macaroons here, guys.
Alright, I'm gonna get started.
Because you weren't here, you missed them.
Alright, let's just get started, 'cause it's 10 to 5 already.
Isn't there a contradiction in terms?
He said, isn't that a contradiction in
Alright,
terms?
can I get an approval of the agenda?
So move.
Second, anybody?
Second.
Second, third,
Approval, guys, approval of the minutes? Of course, there's subject to any changes that you need to make after the meeting, that's fine. Anybody?
So move.
Second.
I think everyone's got my chair's report. Have any questions on it? Again, I'll take questions afterwards as well. I will give us a board report.
I think there were 2 meetings since we met, right?
Yeah.
The first was the network strategy study, which they come out, they talk about that every now and then. And one of the things on it was that they're working towards central control. But I had mentioned, I brought this up, is that it's going to take a long time, it's really out there, that they really don't have a good idea how long it's gonna take, it's something like a decade or 2. So I said, if we get better information before we have to wait for this central control of the entire railroad, it'd be much better. You know, I didn't really get a good answer from that, although Mitch Pally has been asking about giving central control a priority in the capital, or at least the next capital program, and seeing what they can do about that. So that'd be good. That's different conversations at different times. As far as safety goes, that's always an issue for us. And there's a separate safety committee the MTA has that meets usually every other month. One of the things they're looking at is what they call leading indicators. What are the railroads and even transit doing to proactively reduce accidents? And there's a close call reporting system, which means the train crews and even in the shops and everyone can make reports anonymously to a central reporting system, which is actually run by NASA and the Federal Railroad Administration. And these reports are then analyzed. Well, they're accumulated. They're given back to the railroad anonymously. We don't know who made them, to see if there's some issues out there that could be corrected. And those are, so far they have about 8 or 10 different issues. They haven't told us exactly what they are, that are going to be addressed at both Metro North and Long Island Railroad. So that's a good thing. Everyone read about the sleep apnea thing. They're going to move that up. The Long Island Railroad's going to have that. That's a good thing. For the first time in many months, the Long Island Railroad actually met its on-time performance goal for March, and most of the branches did too as well. So I don't know what people's experience has been, but let's hope that can be kept up for a few months at least. That's really it. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Oh, I just wanted to note in mind, what's happened to the board report was, it came out about ridership. They didn't want to read my report. What I found really interesting was that the 2 branches that had the highest increase was Oyster Bay and West Hampstead. I thought that was very interesting that those 2 branches, which have pretty poor service, because I used to take those in Bay Line.
I think ridership on those was so depressed.
Right, but
Yeah.
they come up.
Yeah, it's a
They
low
come up.
base, but even.
Still, it's an increase, because I know people on those lines, and it's a horror line.
But Far Rockaway was
3
big
years.
too. I mean, it seems to be the closer in branches that are getting the ridership increases.
Yeah, it did, but more of the ridership.
Yeah, more of the, I mean, yeah, everybody had some.
Yeah, but they had
increases,
dramatic
except for Greenport.
increases, but I didn't ask
Very
about
small
this,
one.
but you know, if you look, there's a long ridership report, if you look. There's a lot of, in some ways there's a lot of questions raised about it, and that's, when you see a high percentage increase, I wonder what happened before, because West Hempstead, there was no weekend service for a long time.
And they-
Lot time.
Well, during the cuts.
Yeah, right, so
Well, you know, they took the hotel down and they put up housing in place of the
That's
hotel
right.
at the
That's
end of the
true,
line.
that's right.
Yes.
And there are so many more cars parked in the parking lot behind what
Well,
used
there you
to be the village, Shoppers Village,
could
I
be part
believe
of
it
it.
used to be. Now there's a lot of vehicles parked there all day long, so you're getting a lot of commuters that are going and parking there and taking that line in the morning, I'm sure. And you're getting the housing folks that are walking over too.
Just a couple of things that when I, at the Newsday article, a couple of things said to them was, first of all, obviously they presented it, and I'm just not gonna listen to this. They presented it as the railroad is patting their back, cause, they broke these, records, and my position is, well, actually, it's the riders who are making the record. They're the ones who are using the train, they're the ones who are showing up, they're the ones who are paying the fares, they're the ones who, it's the riders who are breaking the records, not the railroad. And I still think that maybe the distance issue, again, also maybe due to fares, how people further out are paying so much more, and I think that these are issues that with the fare increase coming up next year, we have to, remind them, that service has to be enhanced and fares can't keep getting increased if they wanna encourage more ridership further east than west, so we had a conversation about it, I think it's not gonna be the first and last conversation we all have about it. But, you will do a quick staff report?
No, sure, yeah, I mean,
Not with all that stuff, just,
Yeah.
what's staff working on, really?
staff is working, we've been looking at some new things that are coming through, sort of coming through the MTA. There's a new sort of environmental rating system that they're actually doing trainings in transit on it that we're looking at. It may be the way of the future for the MTA. We don't know yet. But Ellen went to that training, and Angela as well went to that training. So it was an all-day training, and that promises to be interesting. We still have, still have some work on some of the visualization stuff, and taking some of the statistics of the commuter rails and putting them in a visual form, and Bradley's working on that. Trying to get that in shape. Starting to look a little bit at some of the fair stuff. I've been doing that, and looking at obviously we had spent a lot of time on the capital program, and that finally, well, not finally, for the third time, it got approved. Looks like this time it'll stick and actually make it through the capital program review board. So that's good from one standpoint, but bad from the standpoint that we still don't know where the money's coming from, at least on the state share. There's a commitment to provide the money, but it's a commitment to provide it when it's not needed. And who knows what that actually means, how much effort the MTA and the operating agencies have to exert before there will actually be cash forthcoming. And the other thing is, if the state funds funds debt service on bonds, they pulled back from paying debt service on bonds before, and used money that was supposed to flow to the MTA to do that. So there's a risk there. But we've gotten a few. Interestingly, one of the interesting things about the complaints we got in the last month or so, we got basically three complaints about people riding for free. We got a thing about the employees not sitting down when the only seats that were available are the middle seats, and the guy doesn't think they should be able to say there's seats available when there's middle seats. We got something about employees letting themselves on early on trains at Jamaica, so they get in and they get the good seats first. And we got something about law enforcement. Somebody wanted to know who in law enforcement gets to ride for free. So that's sort of that may be an indicator of people's mood.
I want to jump to two things that we
Sure.
want to agree things. We are going to be working on 2 op-eds. Anyone interested in working on it with us, fine. One we're doing on freight, based upon the lectures that we had here, the people we had here, and freight.
All right.
Just with the speakers that we had, based upon that, just let people know about the issues that concern us, that they have no control over this company, over what freight is being, they can't say, I don't think it's good to get out there to the public and let them know. And the other one we're considering doing is, as my report says, we met with Renato, and as of tomorrow, I'll jump ahead since it's part of the same op-ed thing. As of tomorrow, all the proposals for who wanted to redo, Penn Station's supposed to be redone.
Right.
And so all the companies that want to propose something, they have to invite tomorrow, okay? So, one of the issues that's come up, is there are people now pushing, saying, there's no reason to redo our part of Penn Station that we use now, if Madison Square Garden is not removed and taken somewhere else. There's no reason, if it's still gonna be there, to redo Penn Station. That's the thing. So, our position obviously is we still use Penn Station. We may wanna call attention to the fact that, as riders, we still want certain things done. So, we'll reach out, whoever wants to be involved with these issues and the writing of it, let us know, because we've been doing it, but we're open to anybody who wants to work on it with us. And if any other issues, ideas for op-eds, we've been saying we're open to any ideas, we'll start working on them, okay? That's part of what staff will be, help
Yeah,
us
well, we're
work on.
gonna have, we've
Okay.
done a little bit of preliminary work on that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just wanna, Larry, you there? Larry?
Yes, I am.
All right, can you give us
Take a
a,
second to read them,
Hold on,
I'm here.
yes, good.
This, one of the things, the board report I forgot to mention, that's important to us, I suppose. This guy, people may have seen this, there's gonna be a rollout of the mobile ticketing finally. It's supposed to, system-wide in June. April, they're gonna start on the Port Washington branch to make sure all the kinks are worked out, and then, so everyone will, supposedly starting in June, everyone will be able to, have mobile ticketing, or have it on your phone, your monthly, instead of an actual ticket.
I was asked to do that,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and after filling out 3 surveys, I was turned down.
Okay.
And I sent an email back, of course, no answer, and I finally sent one to Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Turns out that since I have the monthly plus a subway unlimited,
Right.
can't do it.
Because you wouldn't be somebody who would be purchasing a ticket.
So I said, why did you say that in the beginning of the survey? I
Oh,
wouldn't
when they
have
did
to
the survey,
waste
why didn't they tell you?
20
that?
minutes to
Yeah.
take the survey if I
you weren't
couldn't,
eligible.
if I wasn't eligible. And also they don't explain why you're not eligible. They say you're not eligible. Oh, okay. Anyway, I tried and it just does not fit me.
Well, this, I don't know.
Because
if
then
the-
I have to go out and purchase, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I have to go out and purchase the MTA ticket, unlimited.
Right.
Separately.
And I think you lose some of the discount too by doing
You
that.
do.
You know, and it was like, guys, well,
Because you
we'll
would
do
do
this
it.
and that, back and forth. I'm not interested.
Well, the idea of this, it probably won't happen in June, but is to actually have, is to have transit access for the mobile app. That won't happen in June,
No, you can't.
but it will, the plan is to have it happen. And
But they can issue for those that have the multiple.
we issue a separate.
So
and
what are the
separate monthly
limitations? Did they say, so it's monthly only,
Right,
with no
monthly
Metro card attached?
Right, and I go out and purchase a monthly card, they would do some kind of credit back.
That's the pilot program.
Yeah, you
Right,
have
so the question is only, if anybody has a Metro card with any kind of value, you can't use the mobile ticket? Is that what the answer is on that?
We talked about that the last meeting, we had them come present it to us, and they said the goal is to have them do both, but the pilot program is not.
But it has to be done on transit, and if you think about it, it's okay, you could do Grand Central, you could do Penn Station pretty quickly, but why would you, if you have your Long Island Railroad monthly, all right, you get off the train, you get on at Penn Station, you go someplace, now how do you get back if it's not accepting that ticket? So we're gonna have to wait until probably June 2017 to have the Metro card with the mobile monthly.
Yeah, they don't even, transit doesn't even know exactly how they're gonna do.
Right, there's too many stations to.
Right, you'd have to have ultimate, or you would have to know the stations you're gonna use, so you could opt in, and I don't know, they haven't, whether they're gonna actually opt into that or
So I
not.
use mine a lot, I use it for the bus sometimes. I use it
Right,
for
so
the
you
train.
wouldn't want, no, we would wait until,
I have a senior moment, forget, we get off the train the wrong
right,
time.
you'd wait
you know.
until 2018 at best for that, but they're very serious
Good.
about moving this
I'll
up.
be retired by then.
That's what I was gonna say that.
Did they mention the inaccessibility of the app for people with disabilities?
No, that wasn't, but that's a good that's a question to ask.
I mean, Mark, at the last last night.
Now, is the app like gonna be like Amtrak, where they touch the phone and done? Is
They
that
don't
what
touch
it
the phone, they just scan the phone.
Scan the
Yes,
phone.
that's what it is. It's just
The
show the
Amtrak
phone.
is really neat, that's really neat. And airlines have it now as well.
Yeah, no, that's the idea.
Well,
Which you can use, you know, also supporting of, everybody's been using this
Because
type
the
of
last
stuff.
thing they tried was the tapping, and I
Those
was,
are smart cards, those are the.
I was there one
They're
day,
gonna have to do
and
that
I had
on
pushed the
transit.
wrong button and
yeah, that's what transit.
wiped out the program.
At least.
All right, let's go next. Larry? Larry,
Larry?
Yes,
can
I'm
you
here,
give us,
I'm
can
here.
you, wait a sec, can you give us a report on the communications group?
Well, a little bit of a disappointment because we set up that email address, the Gmail address, and asked people to send texts and things like that. And I can honestly say nobody sent me anything. Nobody. So Jerry and I have just been compiling stuff on our own, and we put the email out, we asked people, and there's not one of you guys. And so it's a little bit of a disappointment that everybody says that they're seeing problems in their texts or emails, and when I ask for that, I don't get copies of it, so I don't know. So I put out again to people, the Gmail address, if you want, I'll put it out, the email address again, to everybody, and I'd just like for you to copy and paste what your issue is, so this way I can see what it is, and I can add it into our list that we have stuff that we've already compiled. And again, right now, we set it up as LIRRCC1@gmail.com. And
Larry,
it'd be nice to hear from everyone. Yes.
add something to that. You know, I gotta be honest with you, you know, that, like, having to put it somewhere else, you know, another posting of, you know, an issue is not convenient. You know, we have the Google group, we've been posting it there, I don't know why you can't just take the stuff off there. I mean, issues have been posted, okay, so to suggest that nobody's reporting issues, I just think it's a little unfair. Because you set up another, you know, whatever address or text or whatever, and it's just like, you know, I got enough stuff to keep track of than one more thing.
Well, the original hope was that this. Well, I didn't want to clog the Google group with people just sending me information, so I figured if somebody would send it to me directly. Well, I just didn't want to clog the Google group up with all that other, stuff.
It's not that clogged. Anyway, I don't think it's fair to be, like, criticizing that people haven't done stuff, so.
All right, well, you know, I'm sorry. It's just like I said, I just didn't want to clog up the Google group. I was hoping that people would send me and then I could expand on what their suggestions are, things of that nature, without going through the group. That
So,
was the original
Larry-
plan of the original.
Larry, has there been any to the Google group then, so besides your separate email? I mean, I don't recall
I
seeing.
haven't seen much.
Either have I, and that's why I'm asking
No,
the
I
question.
haven't either. I
So
haven't either.
convenience, I don't think is an answer, I agree with you, I haven't seen any communications to that email address either.
But maybe because there
Well,
hasn't
of
been
late.
many complaints.
Yeah, of late I haven't seen,
Well, we have an offer from the
Was
railroad
it-
to go visit the communications center.
Did we
Anybody,
do
does
that?
anybody like to go?
And
besides
also
the
have a
com-
discussion about any ideas or.
Well, we're not ready, we're
Oh,
gonna
okay.
do our initial stuff first, then we wanna sit down with you guys.
Okay.
Does the group wanna go, or should we just let the communications committee go? Does anybody else wanna join and go on that kind of,
The date works out for me, I'd go as
Yeah,
well, even though I'm not on the
Alright, so-
communications committee, so.
We'll work, okay?
What, pick a date for the communications, my suggestion is, pick a date for the communications committee, and it's okay with everybody else.
Right.
If-
Make
if
it
they
work
can
for
make
them,
it-
and if anyone else
Right,
can go,
right,
they
good
can
join
join.
on.
Otherwise, they'll never get it set.
Right, because
Okay.
we tried to do things
Okay.
where we try to make everybody happy and
Fantastic,
nothing.
As long as they're at the minimum.
yes.
Let me
Okay,
ask everybody a question while I've got everybody here for just 30 seconds, if you don't mind me speak for me for a second, Mark.
Sure.
One issue that I've seen as a big issue is people that get text messages where the text message is truncated and the information isn't there. Do other people see the same thing, or am I the only one that has seen that?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
what is it?
He's talking about when,
Text message cuts off at
Text
140
messages come
characters, you don't get the rest of the message.
yeah.
I'm not subscribed to it, so I can't give the feedback.
Oh, I don't get text, I just get email, I
Yeah.
never know that.
Yeah.
No one here gets text, so they
I
can't
get
give the feedback.
texts.
Oh, and you have that
I
problem.
mean, no, but I've seen it with other people, I've
Oh.
seen what.
So one person is
I
experiencing
think
it.
some people it will break, some services will break into multiple messages and some won't.
But with mine, you can add, you can click if you want to see the message in full.
Okay.
Right, right.
No,
I think
see,
it- I think it depends on the
I mean,
phone
I mean,
and the
yeah.
service.
I mean, I'll just give you just a go, like, please remember to purchase your monthly ticket for your convenience. Ticket winners at Penn Station in Jamaica under 24/7. Check our website for, that's the end of that. The Long Island Railroad is operating on minimum schedule due to multiple track, TRA, that's the end of that message. The 342.
Larry,
from
excuse me,
Babylon
Larry.
we will back to, things like that.
Larry, at the end of each of those though, do you get a spot where you can click to see the full message?
No.
Oh, I'm given, if you wanna see this message in full, click.
I think it depends on your service provider and your phone. So if
Who's
you
your
have-
service
Yeah,
provider?
get a better phone, Larry.
So-
Come on.
Right, or subscribe to email.
This is the brand new, I'm subscribed to both, this is the brand new phone, so it can't blame it on the phone, but it's just, it's just like little things like that, and, and I've just been compiling, or even things in email, issues, so, I've been compiling all of these as Jerry and I have been calling them and finding things of that nature. Even something as simple as the 439 train from Babylon due is being delayed at America waiting substitute equipment. Well, my answer to that is, well, how long a wait, or is the train canceled, what's the story?
Okay,
So
Larry, okay, this is what your committee's for, you don't have to go through it, that's what your final recommendations are gonna be at the end, so let's not go through it all right now. Just start gathering it, and that's, that's why
Cause
I
that
have
could
a
be a
committee.
communication problem and not a railroad
Well,
problem.
that's why we have a committee to not have to bring up the whole, but I just wanna get an overall view of what was going on. Any member reports from your communities, any happening on Concord, Sheila, we should know?
Oh, tons of stuff, but nothing,
Okay.
railroad communication.
Brian Hicksville, anything interesting?
No, I owe a response back to you about touring Hicksville or looking at it. I know they couldn't release reports because it was out for
We'll
bidding.
show you all our plans, but we're still in the procurement, so we can't email it out. But
Mike,
if you stop by, we'll show it to you.
No, I'm sitting here thinking about the mobile ticketing and wondering what's going to happen for the prior settlement, when they started putting in the machines, is that still going to be in effect, where a person who cannot access mobile ticketing can still purchase a ticket on the train?
Yes. Yeah, well, they're gonna discourage purchasing tickets on trains, as they always have.
But
Right.
anybody handicapped has always been able to.
Seniors
and
handicapped,
Without the
Penalty.
No
without the penalty? I didn't know that.
I can always get
a
one.
lawsuit, 95.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right then.
Yeah.
Well, then, they can't, they have to still offer that,
Yeah.
unless they have a viable alternative.
All right, if there's nothing else in that, I wanna jump ahead to one of the new business before we have our speaker, one last thing. There's now gonna be, an opening, from our PCAC first vice chair, which comes from our council. Matt has stepped down as PCAC vice chair. It's actually PCAC's vote to do it, because it's PCAC's vice chair, but I guess upon our recommendation. So I'm sitting, I would like to nominate or recommend, I would like to nominate Ira, because Ira as past chair and as the board member who does attend the meetings, I would
Yeah.
like to propose his name, since we have someone who's willing to come to the meetings.
I'll second that.
Yes, I will too.
Okay.
Can you actually do that? Can you make the motion?
Well, I'm just
Yes, you
saying,
can.
yes.
I'll make the motion.
Well, it's gonna be taking place at the next PCAC
Right.
meeting, is when the election will be. But I would like our council to propose
Align
that
on
name. And unless there's any objection, that'll be our recommendation to the PCAC, right?
I don't know, can we tolerate him?
Is Ira okay?
Well, we can they?
Just record me in the negative.
Are you aware of this, Ira?
Yes, Mark asked me 2 months ago and I forgot.
Just don't forget to go to the meeting.
That I said yes. No, I'm reminded, they invite me anyway.
Board members
Because
are
We
invited
invite
to
board
go.
members,
As-
Board
yeah,
members-
right.
board
regardless
members are
of
always invited.
whether it
Yeah.
be
Because,
CAC.
Ira,
because
we
I pride myself in serving on as many committees that have no power whatsoever, or have no vote.
Ira, if you
as
do, I
possibly
appreciate it in
can.
advance.
Yet you have to fill out all the disclosure forms.
Do you wanna bring in?
I'm on my community board now. Speaking of which, do we have to community bitching and
We
all
did,
that?
oh, wait. Yeah, we kinda passed over it, because they talked about community stuff again.
Oh,
Hold
well,
on.
my community has been, especially me, has been tortured by the East Side Access Project, just so people should know. They've been doing work late night during the week, which if they were not a state agency, they could not do. but they did this for a couple of weeks, and there was a lot of complaints, and they promised they'd reduce it, just so people know.
But what? What are they doing?
Working nights.
They're working on East Side Access, which happens to be 2 blocks from my house.
Who's working on it?
The MTA, the East Side Access Project,
Okay. Yeah.
they took down a bridge and they're putting up a new one. And they worked in the middle of the night.
Noise
So what's the
pollution.
problem?
So for anybody who says they don't work hard, you know, yes, they
Huh?
do.
That's right,
They're working, that's the problem? Oh.
No, they're keeping us up at night and not supposed to work
Oh,
all the night.
noise, you mean?
The noise, yes, the
Oh, I'm
noise.
sorry, I thought it was the problem, they're
Well,
working, oh.
No,
Noise
no.
pollution
not
on weekends and
nice.
nights.
That's not nice.
Ah, sorry, you could have said noise, but then I would have
Well,
understood.
weekends they can do, it's nights they really shouldn't do, but they can get away with
Let
it.
me say one last thing, and Hector's not gonna be happy that I'm bringing this up, but you know, we very often find out about problems through personal experiences, right? So I lost my monthly ticket during last week.
Right.
So I
It's a good
called
one.
it, it's a mail-in ride, I
Yes,
called it
this is
in
a
and
good one.
everything. And now, I was told that because the railroad part of it is like cash, so I can't do anything about that, so I've been buying my tickets, that's fine. What my concern is, I can't find out still what the policy is, and we've gone through transit, we've gone through railroad. The MetroCard part of it has been stopped electronically, no one can use that part of it now. And so I'm asking, well, shouldn't I get a credit or replenishment of my ticket, because I paid for it already? I'm now paying twice.
So if you found
For
it
it.
in your living room, you couldn't use it either.
Right, no one can use it, so
Right.
I've already prepaid for it.
Right.
And I
You
can't
put it on
get,
the hot
I
list.
can't get an answer as to what the policy is. Transit says it has nothing to do with them.
Yeah,
It's only-
transit has
so-
disallowed any, because.
Well, what is transit
they-
policies on their monthlies?
They have, well, they have the policy where if they can identify the number,
Right.
they'll give you a refund.
That's what I thought, right.
Yeah.
So isn't that the case here?
It should be, but transit, we talked to Cross Sinclair, who's
They're
the
saying it's not
customer
our
service
ticket.
person for MetroCard, and he said, we have nothing to do with it. We have
So
nothing to do
we're
with it.
gonna find out what the policy is when we revisit this,
But we
because
actually-
because if
we
we're having
actually
this one
got a
around,
message
imagine
to
what a
him
regular
and
rider's
back
gonna
a
pay.
message and said, we have nothing to do with it, we don't set that policy, that's all on the railroad.
I've had the issue with the reduced fare MetroCard. If I go in there and say I lost it,
Yeah.
they don't care. If by chance it stops working, they'll give me a temporary.
What happens if you lose and that's it,
If you
that's an
lose
ID
it, they
card.
don't care. You wait,
Your ID?
you wait,
How long do you have to wait?
usually 3 weeks to a month.
Wow. Now, just so
And
you
they
know.
won't give you a temporary. because
However,
you lost
if
it.
Well, no, you lost, that's the penalty.
If you lose your ID, they have two. So if you lose your ID, I've lost mine, and they will give you the other ID.
But that's
they
not, that's
have.
not fair media. You're sort of got
Well, hold on,
identification.
hold on. Then when you get your second one, and then when you lose your second one, you're out of luck.
Just so everyone knows, just since we're discussing these policies, the student MetroCard in New York City,
Yeah.
if a student loses it, high school, middle school, he gets a new one the next day.
The next day.
Well, you don't want to
They
not,
wanna go to school.
right,
They wanna go
They
to
don't wanna
He
school.
gets a new school the next day?
no.
So he can get
He
the
gets
school
a new
when we came to
MetroCard the next
Right.
day.
Yeah, but he can take his issues with.
And the other one is locked out within a
I
week.
got that.
And I only know that
One
one
thing,
person.
we have another meeting after this in Farmingdale, so we have to leave by 6.
Well,
How you doing?
introduce him, introduce him, introduce our guest, please.
Go, go,
Our
go.
special guest today is John McCarthy. He's the governor's representative at the MTA, and right now he's working with us closely on the third track project.
So, thanks for having us.
I'm not gonna go around because you're in the streets.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm not gonna be too fast. I'll try to speak slowly. But just wanted to give everyone an update on the Long Island Railroad expansion project, where it is right now, so that everyone here is educated as to what the status is. As you know, in January, the governor made an announcement regarding the expansion project, both the need for it, the benefits, and how this is going to be very different from past efforts, and specifically when it came to property takings, when it came to the length of the project, and how we deal with public outreach. So since then, we've been meeting with the villages along the corridor multiple times, and as well as outside the corridor, but very close attention to the corridor just because of the direct impacts. Those meetings have been very helpful because we're really getting the feedback that we need as far as the concerns. And look, there's different concerns that are very unique to different locations, and that's going to help us in putting together the draft EIS. Last month, as you know, we hired an environmental consultant. It's a joint venture with AECom and Gannett Fleming. So they are on board. They are expected to deliver they have a technical statement of work that they're working on. They're expected to deliver their scoping document in early May. That will lay out all the studies they're going to do in support of the project. What are the what they have to look at for the environmental impact statement. So based on that scoping document, we'll have scoping hearings. We're going to hold 2. We expect to do, we're trying to finalize space. We want something obviously near the railroad. So probably Hicksville, Mineola area, so that we're really, we're not in the same spot. We'll probably do a day and evening at each location. And we would expect to have at that, we'll get the feedback, but we'll also want to hear throughout the scoping period. If people can't arrive in person, we're going to put together a community information center at the Mineola station in an unused area right now. So that way people can come to us at different times if they have very specific concerns. We can get that on the record, become part of the environmental impact statement. Over the summer, we'll do the work that we lay out in the scoping document. We expect to have the draft.
Would you consider doing something in Penn Station? Which is where most communities are gonna go through at a time.
Like everybody doesn't stop off and get
I
up in
understand,
Mineola.
yeah, I understand. I'll take that back to the project team. I think that's an interesting point. I understand it,
Maybe even
certainly.
Brooklyn.
I understand that.
Or perhaps a handout, so I don't think people running for a train are gonna stay very long.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay.
Third Track was in the, what's the newsletter that they give out, the seat drop?
Yeah, it was in the seat drop, I think, for
Right.
February, maybe.
It was in 2 months ago?
Yeah, a couple of months ago.
Yeah, 2 months ago. I think.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. And then I just, an important thing that, two recent announcements that you probably heard was that were very significant. The right-of-way, one of the things we're obviously very concerned about is residential property and commercial property, but on the residential side, we engineers are satisfied that there will not be any requirements for residential property. The second thing is the governor announced that he wants to modify the grade crossings, and there's 7 along that corridor. That means either over, under, close. What we've been doing is going to the villages, obviously because this has to deal with traffic, beyond some of the things. We have DOT in those meetings. Last night we were at New Hyde Park and met with village mayor, New Hyde Park, Garden City as well, because they share the New Hyde Park Road crossing. We were there for 4 hours, very, good meetings. We're trying to develop alternatives that at least we can rule out things that just don't make sense. And their knowledge of the location is very helpful. And obviously DOT's work that they're doing on traffic, they've been out on at these crossings collecting data. So that'll be part of the scoping document as well.
All of the grade crossings?
Yeah, there's
On the third track on?
All 7.
7,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I've sat at the New Hyde Park crossing during the morning rush hour.
Yeah.
For 5 trains to come up.
Yeah, so I think the number is something like 24 minutes of the hour the gate is down at New Hyde Park Road and the others
I
as well.
probably sat there for all 24 of them.
There's within like less than a mile, there's 3 crossings in New Hyde Park, there's 2 in Mineola.
Right.
Wow.
And
So
then 2 in the Westbury
it's going
area.
from west to east is Covert, 12th Street. 12th Street is less